Hey, welcome back to Reputation at Stake. This is Pepper.
This is Fisher.
With beard. So I heard from this man named Hippocrates. He said back in 400 BC.
Wait. Did you say Hippocrates?
Hold on, let me see the quote. Let food be thy medicine.
From the man whose name is Hippocrates.
Hippocrates.
Crates for hippos.
Sir Hippo.
Okay, so wait, go ahead. Let food be thy medicine.
Yeah, let food be thy medicine. He said that in 400 BC.
I think we're talking about Hippocrates.
Hippocrates.
That might be the real name.
But it's spelled Hippocrates.
Okay, Hippocrates. Maybe, is that what it means? Hippocrates?
No, I doubt.
Okay.
I doubt it means that. But anyways, he said, let food be thy medicine. And each week we come and...
Oh, listen from the man named Hippocrates.
Each week we come and we tell you how much better we are feeling. And this is the time when all the kids have gone back to school and there's a lot of sickness going around. I wonder if Mom and I have got a touch of a bug because both of us have been a little bit lower energy and just not feeling...
Top notch.
Yeah, 10 stars, top notch. Like everything seems a little bit more of a struggle. I've been a little bit more tired, a little bit... No fever or anything like that, but just a little bit more sinusy.
Right.
So anyways, I thought that was interesting that back in 400 BC, he said, let food be thy medicine, and how we are really going on this journey of carnivore, and we're feeling so many great benefits by getting rid of stuff that's causing inflammation and breathing issues and sinus issues, and really inflammation is the biggest thing. It's such a bizarre thing that this thing called inflammation, it's a precursor to even like heart diseases and all those kind of things. So once you get the body down on inflammation, how good you feel. So Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. And I kind of like once more grip me, because every week we come on here. I mean, we're on week 15. We just celebrated our 100-day journey.
Yes.
And, and now we're looking at someone from way back, however many, 100 years, 1,000 years ago. And he's saying, let food be thy medicine.
Let food be thy medicine.
And so we're like, meat heals, meat causes this, meat helps with this, And,
in a very odd way, pharmaceuticals are ingested through the mouth a lot of times. So it is its own food, which they didn't have probably back then.
Yeah.
I guess all I'm saying is that people today still put things in their mouth, to heal. And he was saying, put things in your mouth, but there's better, instead of having the, what do they call that, synthetic man-made pills, having God-made food, so to speak, would be one of the ways to go, or the way to go, or however. Yeah. And health insurance. This was a common thought: was instead of spending thousands of dollars a year on health, which everybody do their own thing, but food. If you put that much money into your food, you would have a type of health insurance because you're making yourself healthy, so that you don't need all the pills and stuff, especially when you get older, because your body's going to wear down faster, right?
Yeah.
Take care of the meat machine, they say. Right? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was kind of like my opening thought. So for me, I just looked at all of August. I didn't look at this week, but all of August, I lost a total of 9 pounds.
Okay.
I didn't add up my measurements, but for just this week, from 14 to 15, my waist, hips, and butt all stayed very similar, and then I lost an inch in each arm.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. That it's interesting how the scale has been up and down this week, and I can't say that. Well, I did. I saw my new lowest number, and then it jumped up, and now it seems like that's how people lose weight: is you drop down like 3 pounds, and then you bump up 2 pounds. Yeah. And then you stay at that 2 pounds for a little while, but your body's also losing inches. The scale's like your worst enemy and your best friend, because it's really exciting to see it go down, but it's not exciting. So this last week I've kind of spent a lot of time trying not to weigh myself every day and just hitting like maybe on Fridays, because it is a little discouraging to see the weight gain, but it's exciting to see the weight loss.
Yes.
But when you go to give a report, how do you say, well, I lost 3 pounds and then gained it right back, because, it's water, it's this, it's that. But so all of August, I'm down 9 pounds. So that's like right on track for losing 100 pounds is about 10 pounds a month within reason. And I know my body's healing and I have to let it do its thing. So that's where I'm at. So I was really excited about the inch in each arm because, I'm not really pumping iron or, doing HIIT with my arms yet. High intensity.
Yeah.
What's the T stand for?
High impact training.
Training, is that what it
High
is?
intensity training? It might be high intensity.
Yeah, where you just go all out for as long as you can and then you're done.
Yeah, like 30 seconds of just burst. And
Yeah.
you might even puke, and then it's done.
So I'm not doing any of that. I'm just, up and down the stairs and working in my shop, and that's kind of been my exercise, mowing the lawn. Interesting fact. So last week when I mowed the lawn, I think it took me almost 2 hours to get through the whole entire lawn. Of course, I weed whacked inside the fence, outside the fence. And when I do around the fence, I weed whack to the dirt. Because I don't enjoy weed whacking. The weed whacker is just built for someone bigger than me, I think. So I didn't have to weed whack this week, and it only took 45 minutes to do the whole entire lawn compared to 2 hours to do the whole entire lawn last week. So
building muscle.
yeah, it's almost like it was easier for the push mower because we have a ditch that has a pretty decent hill, and the lawnmower just wants to slide sideways, and so it just went a lot faster. And I wasn't all huffy and puffy like I normally am after I get done mowing. Normally I'm just totally done for the day. Like, it's a lot of movement. And this week it wasn't so bad. So that's exciting. So,
Yeah.
So how about you?
Well, it's not really great news as far as weight loss because my lowest was 300 at the beginning of the week. And then I'm like 303, and I tried to figure out why, because I'm not eating carbs and I'm not eating sugar. And there's two reasons that stand out pretty strong, right? One of them is the most least attractive one, which is
He hasn't made a poopy in a while.
I create a lot of things. I didn't create one of those, so and it's actually a common.
First bout with constipation on carnivore?
So as of today, this is a weird conversation to share with thousands of people maybe one day. But yeah, I drank some coffee this morning. Things are turning. The tide is turning.
Oh, good. It's been 3 days without anything, right?
That's
Yeah.
the deal. Yeah.
But is this your first time with constipation on carnivore? Like, up till now, it's been daily?
Yeah, right. And so this is kind of what I wanted to
Throw out
share. It is that so that was one. The other thing that's also related is that we have that really salty bacon that I'm starting to like the taste of it. I'm eating more of it. But it's really thick and really salty, and I've eaten more of it than I did the last time that I held weight. Right. So I'm wondering if that doesn't have some kind of impact on water retention, and of course potentially even bowel regulation, whatever word you want to use, right?
Well, we've also started air frying, and you wondered if air frying would have something to do with that. We've air fried our steaks versus pan fry.
Right.
But my little tiny argument with that is...
Well, can I give one more thought
Yep.
that goes before you give the counter? This is really interesting. So in the past, when we used the skillet, we would have thicker steaks, and there would be like a nice medium pink on the inside. So you've got a lot of fat, right? But now the steaks are cut like half the height, and whenever they come out of the fryer, they're always well done. You don't see pink at all. Ever.
Because I'm still trying to figure it out.
Which is fine. I'm just pointing out that so the steaks are a little tougher than when they were skillet. Now that's not a problem. We can work that out. But what happens with your bowels is that you've got steak that's a different. It's a little more coarse and chewy and drier, and maybe that's the other reason. So that's the full case that I would present. What were you going to say as the counter?
So my counter argument is a lot of people do the BBBE challenge where for a full month they eat butter, bacon, burger, eggs, or beef eggs.
Okay.
And so my counter argument is I don't believe that bacon is going to make you hang on to fat. It would make you hang on to water, which would show up in the scale. But without doing your measurements over your entire body, you don't know if your body might be rebuilding. And that's why you're hanging on to weight, because I think when your body when your body goes in and loses weight, I think you put like holes throughout your body per se, and then your body's going, wait a minute, I need to defrag, and it will go through layer by layer and rebuild wherever it's lost weight, and then that's when you see like inches lost. And I think that's why so many people say you need to measure. So that's just my thought. And then about the air fryer making tougher steaks, I know a lot of the carnivores on YouTube, they use the air fryer for everything. They cook their steaks in the air fryer. They do everything in the air fryer. I don't think eating brown meat is going to cause your
Constipation.
So that's my counter argument. And, I thought it's interesting. I really thought you'd struggle this morning because last night we had cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the night before you also had cheese.
We usually avoid cheese.
Yeah, we've been avoiding cheese.
Only because it tends to stall.
Cheese will definitely stall you.
Yeah, because your body uses the energy out of the cheese instead of taking the fat off of your stomach or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Mozzarella, really high quality.
Yeah, it was really good. It tasted like butter. It was really good.
Haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some people that get on carnivore that you hear about that for them when they do it, they have constipation. I think a guy on Joe Rogan, forgot his name, but he said that he couldn't do it. He goes into a whole bunch of details that I won't bring up here, but he couldn't do it. And I think he needed someone to come alongside him and sort of guide him on how to help that instead of just giving up on carnivore, because I mean, that's something that can be resolved through what you're eating and
more fat.
Add more butter, add more fat.
We had that good eating butter from the 100-day.
Yeah, the 100-day.
We've got our $8 butter. That's amazing to just shove in your face.
Yeah. So anyway, that's...
Most people have the opposite. They have explosive issues.
So I kind of feel like you can't really pin down and say, well, this is the way it is for everybody, because it's like for some people, they're going to do... the explosive thing, and the other people are going to get all locked up.
Nothing.
What I've experienced is that the lockup for me usually comes with drier meats. Now, not the steak that she's making per se, even though I do wonder. That we had roast. We got a really good deal on roast, and every time we ate roast, it was dry.
Our bodies just don't do well on roast, and we cook roast in a slow cooker with tried to do it as much as possible in its natural juices, and then you cook it for 6 to 8 hours until you can break it apart with a fork. And neither one of us like roast.
Right. It's like when you eat it, it's like cords of leather.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that. You're chewing it. It has a good taste, but it's a really chewy, drier.
I always feel gaggy afterwards.
Right.
It's weird.
But when you go to a ribeye and it's cooked in the skillet, it falls apart in your mouth. And I think that helps with the intestines for some of us who struggle with constipation.
Well, it'll be interesting. You cook your steak. I'm going to cook in the air fryer. You cook your steaks in the skillet and see if you do better. So I do like the air fryer. It really is stopping like grease from spraying all over the kitchen. You don't get splatter. You don't have to stand there. You can, set a timer. I'm really liking it for that, and it makes really good bacon. Like I'm really reeling in the bacon and getting the chewy texture for you and Mom and crunchy texture for me.
Yeah.
And so there's that. So
I wonder if I were to keep eating this bacon, eventually my body would balance out, level off, and the weight loss would still show up. It would show up.
It's time for you to measure yourself and see if different body parts are shrinking. I didn't lose anything in my waist. Thank goodness I did my arms. I measured my arms because I lost an inch in each arm. So
I'm wearing a 1X shorts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm wearing 1X.
And you went down to 40 on our 100-day.
I was a 3X. I've been wearing these. It's like a pair of basketball shorts.
Yeah.
That I like to wear, and now I'm wearing 1X. So from 3 to...
Is this a 2X or a 3X?
This shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is probably 2X, maybe 3.
Okay, because you do have some 2Xs, and I'm curious if they're...
Yeah.
Because, without measuring, you don't know what your body's doing.
Right.
You have to measure, your belly and your arms and that kind of stuff because... it's exciting to lose an inch off your arm, especially when, my arms are so big. I'm excited to lose an inch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I tried a new recipe yesterday. So I've been really craving pizza. And I think we talked about this in our 100-day challenge. I was just like, let's just order a pizza and we'll pull the toppings off, have a special treat, and not eat the bread. And Randy said, I can't not eat the bread.
Yeah.
And so we didn't order pizza. Well, the thought in my head was, I really want pizza. So yesterday I made Chaffles, I guess you would call them. They're meat waffles, and it's egg. And then I took Italian sausage and cooked that up, chopped up some pepperoni, and added mozzarella to the egg. Stirred that all up, put it in a small round waffle maker, and made pizza bites, I guess. We have 1 can of spaghetti sauce in the cabinet, and I was really contemplating dipping them in that. And then I thought, no, that's just sugar and it will hurt. So I ate those. I don't know if I recommend them. They were okay, but every time I eat pepperoni, my body flares up with inflammations. Pepperoni is my junk food.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I also made jerky.
Delicious jerky.
Yep, Randy goes, man, this is so flavorful and tastes so good. And I laughed and I said, all I put was salt on it. A lot of people put like smoked salts, or there's different seasonings. Normally what I do is I get a roast and I have a meat slicer and I slice everything up really, really thin. But the last time I got a roast, I didn't deal with the meat immediately, and I ended up having to feed the meat to the dogs because it was super slimy. Mm-hmm. So this time at Sam's, they had super thin, I think it was rump roast beef.
Okay.
And it was cut relatively thin. So I just used those and I threw them in the Dehydrator. We have a Magic Mill Dehydrator square. You can set the temperature and all that kind of stuff. And all I did was sprinkle both sides with salt and slap the whole steak in there. And I dehydrated it for 2 days because the first day when you broke it open, it was still red inside. So I think what I might consider doing the next time I try that is kind of making like a schnitzel with the steak, where you pound out the steak, pound it out nice and flat, cut it into a few strips just so that it has more area for the air to get to it.
I'll go ahead
Make it that way.
I'll go ahead and try to get the brand name.
Yeah, it's called a Magic Mill.
Magic Mill, in case anybody's looking to dehydrate.
It was right around $100 on Amazon. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put that in the description of the video, just in case people are looking for one.
Yeah, and I've also made jerky with the round ones from Walmart. You know, they're like $40. That it works. So whatever.
And you've had other dehydrators that were kind of garbage, right?
The round one.
The round.
Only because it's not garbage. You can't set the temperature.
Okay.
That's the only thing, and it's no big deal. I mean, 165 is 165, whether it's round or square, right?
And this one's like square with the metal trays.
Yeah.
Just a better design.
Easier to clean, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
So I made jerky. It was good, and I think the benefit of making jerky is I got 3 pounds of beef for $13, whereas if you were to buy 3 pounds of jerky, you'd be paying an arm and a leg. Like for Mom's birthday, we got her carnivore snacks, and it's only meat and salt.
So that's
in a chip.
That's a special bag.
It's a special bag.
Carnivore snacks.
We got 3 ounces for $30.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow. So,
yeah.
So buying a dehydrator is the way to go if you want to make.
If you need meat snacks. Yeah.
Okay.
So I know sometime this week I'm looking at going about an hour and a half away to show a house, and I'm thinking I might want some dehydrated meat it just gets rid of the temptation. You don't always have to eat. Carnivores can go like 12, 15, 24 hours easily without food.
Right.
But sometimes if you are feeling sad or super happy, sometimes you just need that hand-to-mouth therapy.
Yeah.
And having meat just stops you from, I would totally go to a fast food restaurant, McDonald's or Burger King. They're not like my super favorites, but you can get something called a la carte, and you can just order the burgers. The cheese is a little bit weird, but if you're desperate and it doesn't affect your body, go for it.
Yeah, because one time I went to McDonald's and I told the guy at the drive-thru, I was like, yeah, I'm looking to just get the burger by itself. And in the past, they had told me we don't do that. But then he was like, hey, let me find it. And he went digging and he found there was like an a la carte at McDonald's. And I kept the receipt for a while. I don't know where it is now. Because
we changed vehicles, so that receipt's gone.
But the next time I went to McDonald's, they're like, we don't do that. And I brought the receipt and I said,
yes, you do.
You do. You just don't know where it is on your menu.
Yeah.
Thing.
A lot of people say they get better deals going on the McDonald's app than ordering them, because then you can choose between a regular burger or a quarter pounder, and depending on how hungry you are. But I would totally do that. But for the most part, we eat twice a day. Sometimes we only eat once a day, depending on what the last day looked like. So, as a carnivore, it's really unique that you're not needing that sugar high like you do on a regular diet.
Yeah.
And so you can really push yourself as long as you need to without food. And you don't get like that weird dizzy, and I don't get hangry as much.
Yeah, yeah. And there's other people I know that in our family that are doing the diet, and what they do if they get to the end of the day and they want something but they don't want to eat a whole meal, a lot of times they'll have like decaffeinated coffee. I don't know if that's good or bad. And maybe sometimes they'll even get an egg bite from Starbucks to help tide over for the evening. And I thought, well, that's actually, it sounds like a really great idea.
You mean if they don't want to go home and cook after working all day?
Right. Like basically whenever we leave my mom in the evenings, it's like the end of the day, you don't want to have a whole meal. But having an egg bite from Starbucks and then a decaf
just kind of tides you over. Yep.
Especially it's an emotional thing to go visit someone in a nursing home. So it just kind of gives you something to hand to mouth, I guess. I don't know.
Yep, it's hand to mouth therapy.
Yeah, but anyway.
We started working with getting our dogs carnivore. I mean, we don't have to convince them to be carnivore. That's the easy part. The hard part is knowing how much to give each dog at any given time without causing gut issues in them. So,
because we've seen other animals die that we have had that from diabetes, and we were like, we're supposed to give them, was it insulin and stuff like that? Or,
yeah.
It was
Special Science Diet cat food, which is, it's the same crap. I'm sorry, it's the same stuff. You're feeding them. It just has a special name. Yeah. It's so frustrating. So we do have a 20-year-old cat. His name's Leo, and every morning he cries at us, and it's this loud, annoying cry. And when I went to the vet, I wanted to make sure he didn't have kidney failure and that he didn't have a UTI or any of the. I'm looking over at him. He's sleeping. I wanted to make sure he wasn't sick. So we go to the vet. And the vet's like, oh, is he crying like this? And he actually imitated the cat perfectly. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. And the vet's like, well, that's not a problem. We can give him a shot at $75 a month. He probably has arthritis. So they did all the blood tests. Come to find out, his blood work came back great. His kidneys are functioning, all that kind of stuff. But they want to give our cat pain medicine. And not once did the vet say, hey, the food you're feeding them is not good for them. So it's weird with animals. You can't explain to your cat, hey, you are an obligated carnivore. So some of our cats like meat, some of our cats won't touch it with a 10-foot barge pole. The 20-year-old cat doesn't have an awful lot of teeth, but every time I eat meat, if I pre-chew it for him, I bite it in little tiny chunks and give it to him, or I'll chop it up and give it to him. He will eat several bites of meat. Right. So that's kind of cool.
And what is it? Like we said at the very beginning, food is your medicine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be. I'm not saying that that's going to cure cancer. Well, actually, that some people believe that eating meat will cure cancer.
We hope.
But I'm trying to say that eating the meat is a lot better than eating the garbage in the processed foods.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying.
So when you look at animal products, it's like wheat, corn, soy. There's some of the first ingredients, and that's what we're feeding our animals. And I know I feel so much better eating only meat, and so I want my animals to feel better by only eating meat. And we have 2 of our dogs are 10 years old. We have a 20-year-old cat, and I don't like seeing them hobble around. And all I can think is if we gave these animals pure meat, hopefully they would also feel better. So it's very easy to give them meat, but they're not quite all the way there because there's this whole balancing act. Like 2 of the dogs are 2 blonde girls. They will actually chew stuff, so they're safe to give them like chicken wings. They're big dogs, so it's safe to give them chicken wings and chicken necks and that kind of stuff. And then our lab German Shepherd cross, he just inhales his food whole, and so we can't give him bones unless we give him like bigger bones, and even then he like bites them once and then swallows them whole, and that's not good for his tummy. So it's just, I don't know, I guess at some point I'm going to save up for a grinder that can grind bone and then use that in so a lot of people end up giving their dogs chicken legs when they have big dogs. 1 chicken leg is 1 meal. It weighs about a pound. They get the bone, the skin, the fat, the meat ratio correct. So that's my goal, but for right now, I just buy cheap cuts of meat and feed them meat. our big dog Dassa, sometimes you'll see her head over here. She doesn't like raw meat. She doesn't like raw chicken. She'll eat hamburger and sometimes bites of steak, but she doesn't like raw chicken. So she likes it slightly warm. And that's, just one more step in the morning, remembering to take food out of the fridge so it's not cold for the dogs. And it's bizarre. It's a whole trip. So eventually our whole house will be meat.
Yeah. And, more to come on that saga of how we're going to deal with, helping them have carnivore. So, yeah.
So one day when you see me with a meat grinder, we've all transitioned.
I suppose if you've got a dog that's overweight and you switch them over to carnivore strictly, they will begin to lose that weight.
Because dogs don't eat corn.
Right.
I've never seen a dog run through a cornfield and, if you have a dead deer on the side of the road in a cornfield, your dog's going to go for the dead deer every single time, whether to roll in it or to eat it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyways, and the very last topic. So yesterday morning I had to wake Randy up in an emergency. I had a leg cramp. My leg just totally locked up, Charlie horsed, and I couldn't move. I wanted to come to the kitchen, try and drink some vinegar. Vinegar tends to help with that. Well, pickle juice helps with that, and I don't know.
It's got white vinegar in it.
It's white vinegar versus brown vinegar, apple cider, yeah. So I couldn't move. Every time I'd go to swing my leg out of bed, it would just lock up again and again and again. It was really, really painful. So Randy came in the kitchen. He made me apple cider vinegar and electrolytes, and I drank that. And it took probably 10 minutes for the point where I could get up. And then just throughout the morning, that leg wanted to cramp up. My calf muscles wanted to cramp up. My arm muscles wanted to be all crampy. So I took magnesium. I don't supplement all the time with magnesium, but I took magnesium. Throughout the day, I tried to drink watered down vinegar. And then that morning at 7 o'clock after I got moving, my mom called and she also was all locked up with muscle cramps. So it's interesting. I don't know if it's a female thing, why females are more prone to muscle cramps. You don't really struggle with it.
I've had it a few times.
Like when you work out too hard?
I have had to do I would drink pickle juice if I had cramps. I got that tip, believe it or not, from Deadliest Catch, the Alaskan crab show. So there was one episode where a guy was screaming after everybody went to bed. The captain runs down, sees the guy in bed screaming and everybody around him, and he hands him a jar of pickle juice because the captain already knew this before. He's seen this.
Yeah.
And he hands him pickle juice and said, drink it. And the guy's like, what? And he drank it. He's like, okay. And he drank it. And within 5 minutes, he was screaming because he was out working all day from dark to dark doing crabs. Right. So anyway, that stuck with me. And I've always said pickle juice, vinegar is the way to go with releasing that cramp. Obviously, you can try to stretch the muscle, but sometimes that doesn't unlock the Charlie horse. You need to find out.
I had cramping for probably 2 hours after getting up.
Yeah.
Like my body didn't want to not be crampy. Like, it wasn't like female cramps. It was like all throughout my big muscles just wanted to be crampy.
So I've heard someone say that pickle juice is an electrolyte. I think that's there. I need to look that up. I haven't done enough research to find out why vinegar would unlock muscles.
Well, it's white vinegar specifically. Like apple cider vinegar kind of works, but not as fast as white vinegar.
Okay.
So pickle juice, I've had cramps and we drank pickle juice and it was gone within a few minutes, whereas apple cider takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. I like apple cider. I think it's more natural. I don't know where white vinegar comes from,
Yeah.
But
I'm assuming they do something with distilling or something to remove it and change it. But
yeah.
The thing about pickle juice is that it's hard to find. You're not going to get pickles very easily without sugar, and so you have to go through a process of looking at the labels to find the one that doesn't.
There are a couple of brands. I didn't really care for the taste. They taste really salty. Like the better the pickle, the saltier it is, and I didn't enjoy that. But in emergencies, I'm going to drink it.
Yeah, screaming for no reason. You got to get some juice in there, pickle juice.
Yeah.
Oh, anywho.
So, week 15. I don't know what I lost last week, but overall, in the month of August, I lost 9 pounds. So now we've started with September 3rd.
Yeah.
We're starting week 16, so we'll see what happens this week.
So for our weekly update, you're saying that you don't know the exact amount of pounds
Right.
lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I can say for sure I lost 2 pounds last week, but then so like on Thursday I had lost 2 pounds, and then on Friday morning I bumped up to 3 pounds, so 2 pounds plus 1,
Okay.
So
It was discouraging.
yeah, and then how do you give her an update of, I think I lost 2 pounds and then I gained 3?
Yeah.
But overall, in August, I lost 9 pounds. And that's all that matters.
To be fair, what we want to do with the purpose of this channel is to educate and share our journey, right?
Our real journey. We're not.
Yeah. So
we're not telling you this is easy. It's been a little difficult this week.
Right. So whenever we show you the ugly side, it's kind of like a quilt. There's a beautiful side, and you flip it over, and there's like all this gnarly stuff. We want to show you the gnarly stuff, which is you're going to gain weight sometimes, and how do you handle that? Because imagine if the first time you gain weight and you were very faithful to the diet, you're going to want to be like, "What? Well, this isn't working." But that's not true. It's just your body is changing, and you're going through some stuff.
Ever-changing bodies.
And you're learning. You're learning how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So if you can just buckle up, Buttercup, keep going, you're going to see overall the trend is going down.
And that's what we've done. We haven't eaten donuts. We haven't eaten pies. We haven't done any of those things. We've kept the course.
Right.
And it's not always fun and beautiful and daisies,
Right.
So
yeah, from week to week,
and real journey is.
And 1 week is not a super long time.
Right.
I mean, if you were to say, "Well, we'll see you in a year," there would be a huge difference in 1 year, or even half a year. But to go from week to week to week, you're getting the ugly bumps along the way, and sometimes it shoots up and then goes down even lower, and it all evens out.
Yep.
But
I did lose an inch in each arm. So it's 2 inches off my arms. Very happy about that.
Yes. So we're doing good.
Yes.
We're doing good, and we feel better.
Yes.
Lots of energy, lots of clarity. I talked to someone else in my family that's involved in this, and this person said that they're doing carnivore, and their thoughts, their mental acuity, they were remembering things that were like over 10 years ago, and like answering questions and helping people at work, cybersecurity, and they were like, all because carnivore. They were like, there was this huge difference, like that movie Limitless.
Yeah.
Their mind was just boom, 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 just really keeping
that
up.
feeling,
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what it's about, folks. I mean, not we want to lose weight, but if you can get mental acuity, remember little obscure facts from 10 years ago.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
So yeah, that's our week update. I don't think there's anything else.
Okay.
That's everything on my list.
Sounds good.
Thanks for listening to us ramble. I hope if you need to make a change that you'll be willing to give carnivore a try. I know this isn't for everyone. You might want to go keto, but there's something magical about meat that really helps bring down that inflammation and then helps you feel amazing. So listen to the man named Hippocrates.
Yes.
Let food be thy medicine, because it's a lot cheaper than going to the doctor long term. We do recommend going to the doctor. We don't have anything against doctors, but if you could feel better just by eating meat, what an amazing thing something you can start right now and start feeling better within, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or whatever. So we're on week 15, headed into week 16. We plan on keep doing this.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for joining us, and I wish you all the best. God bless.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Take care.